Hi, I will make some video about one important problem for some R simulers with FrSky Taranis, with FrSky Taranis Plus and with FrSky Taranis-9E transmitters. How update OpenTx in your radio? How connect radio to computer? I will use some software, some program, Compatibility. This software has many options, and I will now in this movie show you only important things about update of OpenTx, and main reason for this video is show you how you can know if your Taranis and if your computer is okay for connection together. So I will show it here on TV. I can make it with grabbing of screen on computer, but this is much easier for me, and I hope you will tolerate this and my English. So we must know a few things. We will start with check if it will be easy with our radio. If yes, next step will be if it will be easy with our computer and operating system. And if these two steps will be okay, we can go next, and I will show you where download application, how set up application, and how read models from your radio, how save it on hard drive, and how download newer version of OpenTx firmware, and how write this downloaded firmware to your radio. Important is step 1. If it will be easy, you will recognize by switching your radio on with some fingers procedure. Press both trims switches, bottom switches, press to center, and still press switches to center, and during this press radio on. If you will see this bootloader, it means you have a radio with a newer version of firmware with bootloader. If not, if you will not see this again, trims to center and switch on. Yes. If you will see this bootloader, it's okay. Step 1 is done. If not, you have probably Taranis with really old firmware without this bootloader. Of course, you can change firmware, change OpenTx in old Taranis too, but this is much harder way, and this video will be not about that. So it is likely that you have a Taranis with this newer version of firmware. Yes. If you have older version, harder way, maybe in other video, but it is probable that most R simulers has this new Taranis. So this is okay. Now about checking of our computer. This video will be about computer with Windows, Microsoft Windows operating system, but Compatibility you can use with Linux, with macOS, but this video will be about Windows. But on Linux and Windows it is almost the same. On Linux and macOS it is almost the same. So you will need just standard USB cable. We are RC modelers, so I hope it is not necessary to show you how connect USB cable to computer. So my radio, my Taranis, is still with this bootloader, and now I will connect this radio to computer with this USB cable, USB mini. Okay, on display you will see USB connected, and now we must check on computer if is our Taranis really connected. So run Windows Explorer, and here you will see one drive Taranis. This is internal memory in Taranis. This is not really interesting now about, we are not interested about that now. What is important for us is second drive, in my case F, but of course depending on your computer your letter will be probably different, yes. This is memory card in FrSky Taranis. If you will see these two drives, if you will open this memory card, you will see something like these folders. Yes? If you will see these folders, if you will see these two drives, your Taranis is connected properly to your computer and everything is okay. Yes? Again, your letters will be probably different. Yes? So, if you will see only Taranis and you will not see second drive, two possibilities. One, your Taranis is without memory card. This is not very probably. And second options, your memory card is maybe broken or with some problems. So try remove it and etc. But this is standard status. Yes? So we have Taranis with right firmware. We have Taranis connected to our computer with right drives. So now we will download application for communication between Taranis and computer about writing and reading firmware. Go on internet and write address OpenTx.org. Yes, I hope you will see this on video. You must look on this video in minimally in full HD resolution. Yes, so OpenTx.org. Enter, and you are on home page of OpenTx firmware. Now go downloads, and because we want write to our transmitter a newer version, so we will not select old versions of OpenTx, not version 1, not version 2, but version 2.1. Yes, 2.1 is important for us, and on up position is newer version OpenTx, now today OpenTx 2.1.7. So download this application. Now it asks us version for Windows, for Linux, for macOS 10. Yes, I say we are interested about Windows, so download Windows installer. Download it somewhere in your computer, and after downloading just run this application. I have it in other monitor, other screen. Yes, I agree. Next, next, install. And next, and we can launch OpenTx now. I have application companion OpenTx on other computer, other screen. So now is it here? So this is standard application for communication with Taranis, for reading models, reading settings from radio, and writing models and settings to radio again, back again, and many more functions, reading of telemetry, log files, etc. But interesting for us are today only basic functions. First step, we must set this application right for our version of radio, because you can use this application with Turnic GT9X, Turnic GT9X with other boards, Turnic G9XR, Turnic G9XR with other boards, with FrSky Taranis, FrSky Taranis Plus, FrSky Taranis-E, and soon will be Horus here too. So you must tell to this application which radio you have connected to computer. And what is really important, you must be sure which version of Taranis you have. If Taranis or Taranis Plus or Taranis tray type 9E. Yes. So press this button, click on. I have here some profiles from previous installations. Yes, you will have probably this list clear. So click Add Radio Profile, and now press this gear, and you can set a name for your radio. For example, Test Taranis Plus. Yes, this is just name, this is not too much important. Radio type, this is really important. You must be sure about right value here. So I have now connected FrSky Taranis Plus, so I must select FrSky Taranis Plus. If you have normal Taranis, or if you have tray type Taranis, you will just select right value. I have Taranis Plus, so I will select Taranis Plus. Menu language. I am from Czech Republic, so I have now Czech, but probably you will use other language, for example English. Next, values. On these values you can modify OpenTx for your radio. Study it on help. In help are detailed instructions, or in manual for radio. I just use this timer free, it means next timer for timer, and this is support for Lua scripts. Yes, and these next things are not too much important. Yes, I will tell you only important things. Okay. More important thing is be sure about type of your radio and select right value. Okay. Now press this button, this arrow down. Yes. And press check for updates. Now you can see this is a small problem with OpenTx on Windows. Application is freezing? No. We have window about new version of OpenTx, but this window is under our application, so you must only select down from dock, right window, and you can just read information better than me. And do you want to download it now? Yes. And again, you will download application firmware somewhere to your computer. Of course, you must know where. Okay. Now, if we have right profile with right settings, we can try if is our Taranis readable for this application. Yes, my Taranis is still connected, still with message USB connected. Press this yellow arrow on left side, this icon, read models and settings from radio. Okay, it's here. This is just memory of my Taranis, or memory, my models from my Taranis, and not only models, but settings of radio too. Settings of everything what you can set in radio manually, but you can set it here too. And what is really important, calibration values, calibrations of your sticks. Why it is so important? Because sometime you can receive some models from other RC modeler. I will read these values. Again. This is right button. So now it is identical, but imagine that this is window from your Taranis, this is window from and models and settings from other Taranis. You receive these models, for example this file, by email, or you download it somewhere. This is your Taranis and this is other Taranis. And here in window from other Taranis you have some other model. For example, best model. Yes. And do you want this best model in your Taranis? If you now, this window, this file, will write to your Taranis, you will not write only these models, but you will write general settings from any other radio to your Taranis. So you will write different settings, different mode maybe. Definitively you will write other calibrations, so it could be big problem. So how to do? Your Taranis from, or your models and settings, and models and settings from other radio. You will just drop model which you want by mouse and drag and drop it to your Taranis. Release, and now you can your model with your model settings write again back to your Taranis with this first button. Write to TX, and that's all. we must wait a little bit, a few seconds. So, yes, this is way how you can protect your general settings. Of course, you can save your models and your settings to file. Here, file, save as, and you can name it like, for example, backup my Taranis, jak se řekne únor? February 2.16, save, and you have saved this file with wrong name, how I see now. You have saved this model to your hard drive, and you can open it when you want. You can send this file to your friend, etc., etc. Yes. But it's really important to recognize between your model and settings and model and especially settings from other radio, and be careful about writing of general settings from other Taranis to your Taranis. Yes? Very often mistake, so this is reason why I tell about it. So, and now about writing a new firmware to your Taranis. So remember, we download with this button, we download new firmware to our hard drive, to your hard drive, my hard drive. So now I will write this OpenTx, this new version of OpenTx to my radio. It's very easy. Press this button. Yes, write firmware to radio. And here is path and name of last downloaded file. And last downloaded firmware is just our right file. But I can check it if it is right. Yes. OpenTx, Taranis Plus, timer free, Lua script, English language and last version. Okay, that's right. Here's some next options about picture, etc. Check hardware compatibility. You can check it, but if your Taranis will be with really old EEPROM, it will be formatted. Yes, so I think it's not necessary. Your choice. Yes. What is important? Write to TX, to transmitter. And now, during writing of new firmware, don't touch radio, don't touch on cable, nothing. Just wait for finishing of this job. Flashing down, close. Congratulations, your transmitter, your Taranis is now with new firmware. But one important thing, firmware's version 2 and ERL has different voice files, voice messages than newer versions. So if you have in your Taranis really old firmware, probably you will must change or write to your memory card in your Taranis new versions of voice messages, of voices. How you recognize this problem? It's easy. Just Taranis will tell you nonsense voice messages. You will want to listen about voltage, but Taranis will tell you meters, for example, or something like that. So, how to do? Go back on internet, on OpenTx web page, go back, and here are sound packs. And you can see here two different sound packs. Sound pack for OpenTx 2.0 and OpenTx 2.1. Remember, we have in our radio version 2.1.7, but 2.1, so we need voice pack for 2.1 OpenTx. So click on that, and now you will select just right value. This is for Taranis GT9X with different CPU, 9XR, 9XR Pro, etc. blah 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 blah. For us are interesting three last lines for Taranis, for Taranis Plus or Taranis-9E, so tray type. I have Taranis Plus, so I will click on Taranis Plus. Okay, and now languages. If I want English language, I will click on English language, and you can select next versions of voice messages. So I don't know, maybe I am from Texas, so I will select English American, yeah, and just save it somewhere in your computer. And after download, it is in zip file. Just uncompress or decompress this zip file in folder. Here is content of this zip file, downloaded zip file. I will open that. Inside is sounds and folder EN English, and inside this folder are voice messages. So select this folder EN, press Ctrl C or just press right button of your mouse and press copy, just copy, Ctrl C, and now we will go to our Taranis. So this computer, and remember, on memory card, internal memory of Taranis, we are not interested about that now, we are interested about memory card. In my case F, in your case maybe other letter. You will see something like that, these folders. So go in sounds, and I have here two folders. Because I am from Czech Republic, I have here Czech voice messages, and here are English voice messages, voice pack. But probably this voice pack is old, with old voice messages. If you have some problems about voice messages, how I tell you before, so you must change it for new. So delete these old messages, shift delete for example, and just delete it, this old voice messages, delete it from memory card of your Taranis, in my case Taranis Plus. And after deleting, deleting, I don't know, just press Ctrl V or right mouse and paste, and new voice files will be copied to your memory card. Do you understand me? I hope. Yes. My wife is laughing about me. So, after copying, copying. Some are similars write me to my YouTube channel, "Your English is so bad." I respond him, "I know, but probably better than your Czech." So, Now we have on memory card in our Taranis new English sound pack with in right version 2.1 for 2.1. It's okay. Yes. And now I will show you now one next, not any important thing, but really nice thing about companion OpenTx application. In OpenTx companion firmware application, you can see log files of your Taranis radio. What is log file? Log file is if you're flying with telemetry, and you will flying with telemetry if you use Taranis radio, probably you will fly with telemetry. So you can log all telemetry values from all your sensors, but the position of sticks too, and next values. So if you record these values, you can here in companion OpenTx read these logs, these files with recorded files. So again, this button, view log file, and now you must select log file for reading. So again I will go inside, remember, memory card in my Taranis, in my case F, letter F, in your case probably different letter, but this is just my memory card in Taranis. Again, Taranis is still connected, yes, of course. And here you will see this folders, and in folder logs we have logs, recorded logs. Of course, if it's nothing inside, you are just without any logs, but if you have some logs, you can just read it without any problems. You can see here, this is RSSI, so quality of strength of signal, voltage from receiver, yes, this is position of rudder stick, elevator stick, throttle stick, aileron stick, and next just right slider. This is log from my K3000 3-meter wingspan glider. So if you have more telemetry sensors in your airplane, and if you have right setup of these sensors with log checkbox on, you will see these values here. And of course you can select more values in one time. You can zoom it. You can zoom it only in one direction. Nice function for some solving of some problems which you can meet during your flying. Yes. So this is only interesting thing, nothing important. So I think that's all. So you know how check your radio if you have radio with right version of firmware with bootloader. You know how check if it's your computer and connection of between connection of your radio to your computer, if it's okay. You know where you can download application, how set up application, very important, how download right OpenTx version for your radio. Again, be sure about your radio if you have Taranis or Taranis Plus or tray type Taranis-9E. You know how read models and settings from radio, how save it in file, and of course how write new version of OpenTx to your radio, and how, what is important too, how where download and how write new voice messages for new OpenTx to your radio. So I know it's a little bit long, but I try make it really understanding for someone who is not very friendly with computer too. So thanks for watching, have a nice day and see you later.